surprised how easy it is. It was very easy to convince him of the good quality of Leopold.
Not that the tank's track record has been completely unblemished. In 2016, reports emerged.
Danke auch für Bilder, dass Sie das machen. Ja,
This is each tank. Okay.
Abstand egal. Geschwindigkeit
But just
egal.
make sure it's safe.
Ihr werdet es wahrscheinlich eng finden. Ich finde es bequem gegenüber den anderen Besatzungen. Ich bin natürlich hier nicht alleine. Wir haben noch den Richtschützen, der hauptsächlich für die Hauptwaffe zuständig ist. Dann haben wir noch den Ladeschützen, der wo zum Laden der Bordkanone zuständig ist. Mehrzweck, Munition, Vorladungsprinzip. Der Ladeschütze ist zusätzlich ausgerüstet mit einem MG3 zur Fliegerabwehr. Mit Laserentfernungsmesser und Wärmebildgerät und Tagsicht. Rundumblick mit Wärmebildgerät und Tagsicht.
has such a high reputation. There's a lot of love for this tank, a lot of national pride for Israel, despite really seem to fly under this radar, or should I say over it, because in my own, admittedly limited experience, whenever people talk about the tank itself and discuss it out, if you do enjoy this video, I would highly suggest you hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out. Like, share, all those good things, and do let me know what you'd like a main battle tank, but also the world's most heavily armed and armoured personnel carrier, able to transport 4 fully equipped or even 8 lightly equipped soldiers or 3 stretchers at the expense of the tank's weight to just under 64 tons fully combat loaded. The new main gun had an ammunition capacity of 46 rounds, retaining the 60mm mortar, and roof-mounted M2 gun is produced domestically by Israeli Military Industries or IMI, and emphasised the potential to fire so-called smart ammunition, including the sub-variants came to Merkava Mark III, such as the Mark III BAZ, which brought a new composite armour,
The hull is equipped with a modular armor system made of steel ceramics and composite materials. The low silhouette of the tank avoids exposition of the parts to enemy fire, which significantly enhances the safety and survivability of the crew. The crew capsule is isolated from the automatic loader and ammunition to increase crew survivability during explosions. The T-14 Armata is fitted with an unmanned turret mounting a 125mm to A82-1M smoothbore gun fed by an automatic loader. The turret carries a total of 45 rounds of ammunition, including ready-to-use ammunition. The main gun can also fire laser-guided missiles. The Armata T-14 is powered by a 8538 turbocharged diesel engine, which generates a power output of 1,200 horsepower. The engine is coupled to a 12-speed automatic transmission. The running gear includes 7 dual rubber-tired road wheels on each side. The tank can run at a maximum road speed of 90 km/h and has a maximum
to the arsenal of the Russian army. They belong to the fourth generation of armored vehicles and use ultra-modern system of protection, definition and retention of targets, as well as conducting aimed fire. Armata is equipped with a diesel X-shaped engine. It has 12 cylinders, power can
target, rolling up, and it'll fire just after it gets up on top. They were all going to get something out of this experience, but only one crew would get to represent the third ID.
It's a crew level event.
Today's tanks are...
That's where a lot of gunners have difficulty, when you have stabilization failure, when you can only use...
You to move to the bullpen, where you will receive an AAR. And you guys are a crew. All right, you guys are... Yeah, you know, I remember Sergeant Smith talking, and he said this vehicle's nothing but a 70-ton Jersey barrier without a crew.
Tank is a tank. This is one of the best opportunities I've had as an Army crewman in my career.
And that's what the Sullivan Cup is about. With 2 tank crews from Charlie 164 Armor.
I think they've done an amazing job. I am proud of those guys. Very proud.
Just getting ready for
Boy platform.
This is the Super Bowl of tanks.
They want this.
It takes to be a tanker. And then we're going to make sure you can come out here and hit what you shoot at. And so it's forcing these crews, and it forces our future leaders to completely expand everything that they know about tank gunnery.
Gunnery is one of the crew's strengths.
Think about that.
Parking's not an issue. You've got the big blade in the front, knock everything out the way, away you go.
So what we're doing today in Copill Down is we are running, and the armour is fantastic.
One of the primary goals of Street Fighter is to identify capability gaps between ourselves and potential enemies. And then
The tracked vehicle, which means we can go anywhere. Across country, it's not a problem for us. We can get around about 40 miles an hour.
70 odd tons at the back of you, nothing's stopping you, even when you go downhill. Well, I know that you can lie down and drive as well. So
The killer mode, so pretty much while I'm engaging one enemy, the commander is capable of searching for other enemies. So
I'll be loading up rounds into the main gun. Been tank regiment now for about 7 years, done various exercises, various ranges.
and the loader's loading the correct ammunition. I became a commander when I was 26 years old as a corporal, and that's quite a lot of responsibility on your shoulders at quite a young age. So Martin, which is in Wales. Unleashing the Challenger 2.
Has been around the sensor system. So what we've got on Challenger 2 Mark II behind us is a new commander's panoramic sight.
강력한 화력을 내뿜으며 포효하는 K2 전차. 적을 압도하며 기동전의 선두에 서는 순수 국내 기술로 탄생한 K2 전차. 육군 최신의 핵심 기갑 전력. 대한민국이 만들고 세계가 감탄한 명품. 파괴력을 높인 120mm 활강포, 빈틈없이 적을 몰아세울 보무장까지 획기적으로 강화된 화력, 절체절명의 순간, 정확한 피하 식별과 동적 포구 감지를 통해 기동하는 적 전차에 대한 K2의 작전은 한층 정교하고 치밀해진다. 레이더 경보 수신 장치 등의 능동 방어 체계로 대전차 무기의 접근을 차단, 크게 개선된 폭발 반응 장갑을 장착하여 전체의 치명적인 약점인 상부 위협에도 대응할 수 있게 됐다. 또한 K2의 유기압 현수 장치는 전후 좌우로 자유롭고 정밀하게 자세를 제어할 수 있어 날쌘 기동력을 보장한다.
자동 추적 기능은 포수 조준경이 적외선 센서로부터 흡입된 열 영상을 이용해서 이동하는 적 표적의 위치를 계산해서 조준점을 계속 그 포수에게 제공해 줄 수 있는 그런 장치입니다.
힘과 동시에 유연함을 겸비한 K2. K2의 진격은 수상에서도 예외 없다. 통기장치인 스노클을 이용 완전히 물에 잠긴 채 최대 수심 4.1m 하천을 건널 수 있어 한반도 대부분의 하천에서 도하작전이 가능하다.
방탄카바는 그거 살 거야? 아니야. 아, 정화했어.
K2 전차가 스노클을